I'll start with the injuries. Trey Flowers has a shoulder, and Jalen Jones has a throat. Overall, obviously, would love to finish better, but to get a team win right there against a division opponent is huge. With 2 games left, I thought offensively, running the football, 335 on the ground was phenomenal. Great job by the guys up front. JT hitting the home runs. Obviously Anthony as well, but everyone being involved, the tight ends, the receivers blocking, was huge.
So bad on the first possession. I'm kidding.
Sometimes you don't know, and then next time you know, it's good.
With Jalen, is it anything serious? We just don't hear throat very often.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no update. I just know it's throat.
You come in thinking you'd run it this many times, or how did that play out?
Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to run it every game, but obviously it was going good. It was going good, and guys were popping it, and credit to our offensive staff, Jim Bob Cooter and Tony and Tommy and all those guys, and getting it wired up. Phenomenal job by those guys, and obviously the guys up front wired up, and then the defense getting the 3 takeaways was big. To get that takeaway that Kenny had at the end of half, and then to score right there and be able to double dip, with the obviously getting the ball to start the third quarter was huge.
The way JT responded after last week, and obviously the block.
Phenomenal. I don't think he could have responded any better. He was phenomenal all day.
Those plays where he's just outrunning everybody, and it's just a glimpse into kind of what your offense can be when you set it up that way.
100%. I think there's going to be games that go like that on the ground, and obviously it went really well. It was obviously, I think it was the most in franchise history rushing yards. Is that right? Yeah. So that's incredible. So again, it's impressive.
What goes through your mind when you see him break away and just have an open field in front of him?
I'm just smiling, saying he's gone. So it's fun to watch.
What did getting Ryan Kelly back, especially against that front that's got Simmons and Sweat in there?
Yeah, it's huge to get a veteran guy like that that's done it at a high level. The communication that he brings, the leadership that he brings up front for us was big for us, and obviously it showed today.
Did he throw the interception just a little bit late? It looked like Tree might have been open earlier.
Yeah, I got to look back at it. It was just the backside safety, I think, got involved in it.
And did that play any role in how every run went after that?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we did. Then we just started popping them. We were running it really good. So it's like when something's working, you're not going to get away from it.
Why did you take JT out there in the third quarter?
Yeah, we were up pretty good, and then they got back in a little bit, so put him back in.
You regret, I guess, maybe taking the foot off the gas, or?
I've talked to a lot of coaches over the years and kind of how the game was going. Our defense was rolling pretty good there too, and then obviously we were running it pretty good, and then they started to get back in it, and we don't want that to happen, and so we had to adjust there at the end.
You mentioned you weren't going to get away from it, but they probably kind of knew you were going to run it quite a bit as the game went on. Just what does it say about the line and then the coaching that you were still able to run it successfully?
Yeah, I think just that determination, knowing that they're going to be these 8-man fronts and saying, hey, we're going to drag this thing out, bleed the clock a little bit there. And that's kind of how the game went.
There was such a drastic shift defensively, kind of letting them back into the game.
I don't know. I think they hit the big play. They hit a big play there. But, we got to go back and look at that so it doesn't happen.
Was this kind of like an identity game for you, maybe? Just like with the power game you played?
Yeah, I think so. I think, I think everything was kind of clicking there, and those are hard to come by sometimes in this league. But the guys up front offensively were just rolling. I mean, it was rolling. I mean, we were popping the big ones, and we were close on a few other ones too. And so we knew it was there, and obviously we popped them there. So it was good for our guys to bounce back, the way they did after last week.
What was different about Kenny's game today? I know that last interception was kind of just, cherry on top, but he has his game today.
He's always plays great. I love everything about Kenny, what he brings to this team, his leadership. Obviously, getting that interception right before the half was huge to set the offense up to score points there, and then obviously to finish it out there was big. So, he did a hell of a job.
You guys have to win out. You got one.
Yep.
How is this a nice little reset after last week and just kind of a relief going into
Yeah, I
Christmas?
think it's huge. We got to handle our business. We know that, we need some help going forward, but we got to control what we control, and that's, getting ready for the New York Giants.
Talk about the rushing game. What did you think about Josh Downs' tightrope act to kind of break the game open?
Yeah, that was great. I was standing right there on the sidelines, but I knew he was in, but it was close. But to get that touchdown there was huge.
Only 11 attempts for Anthony Richardson, but how nice is it that he can fit, if you're going to run heavy, obviously he has a role in that too, to be able to kind of do either one.
Yeah, no, it's big. Obviously, to add that element of his run game into that was huge. He had some good runs for us all day, so him and JT back there is huge.
Do you think that one popped early kind of greased the wheels a little bit for JT?
Yeah, it could have. I can't say for sure, but I think, everything was kind of rolling there pretty good. So, again, credit to offensive coaching staff, offensive line, all those guys.
Why do you think this team has had so much issues with just tackling this season, especially in a game like today where they kind of got back in it?
I don't know. We got to go look back at it. We'll see the tape, on some of those. Some of those you give credit to the other guys too for making a play, but I'll go back and look at it.
Anthony's had some misses on some throws where guys have been open this year, but on that gotta have it one on the 3rd and 8, just to be able to step into that throw and make it accurate. Just what did that show you?
It was big time. It was big time. We needed that in that moment to keep the ball there, threw on rhythm, on time. Obviously, threw it to Pitt right there to get the first down was huge.